this is Jenny. I am very happy to share my tutorial classes in YouTube. Please like my videos, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. In this channel I am going to explain in a very simple way so that you can easily grasp it and can write well in your exams. So in this video I am going to explain about cancer. So first let us see what does the term cancer actually means. Cancer is the disease which is caused by undifferentiated cell growth. And proliferation. Under this chapter, there are two important components. Let us see what are they. The first one is proto-oncogen and oncogen. And the second one is tumor suppressor genes. Let us see what a proto-oncogen and oncogen means. Oncogene. The genes which are responsible for the disease called cancer is called oncogene. In the name itself you can clearly see that onco means cancer. So the genes which are responsible for cancer are called as oncogenes. So what are proto-oncogenes? Proto means first. The genes which come before the oncogenes are called proto-oncogenes. So the oncogenes are earlier the proto-oncogenes. In other words, we can clearly say that proto-oncogenes are the precursors of oncogenes. Then, how proto-oncogenes have been transformed into oncogenes? What are the difference between proto-oncogene and oncogene? We will see that. Proto-oncogene transforms into oncogene due to mutations. What does the term mutations means? Mutations means a heritable and sudden change. Mutations means the sudden changes which are heritable are called as mutations, such as deletion or duplication. And the other reason for the transformation of proto-oncogene into oncogene is viral infections. Then what are the roles of proto-oncogenes and oncogenes? Oncogenes which are formed from proto-oncogenes due to mutations later synthesis the oncoproteins through the process called translation. Means oncogenes helps in the synthesis of oncoproteins through the process of translation. What is the role of oncoproteins? It performs two functions, like it helps in the uncontrollable cell division and proliferation. And the second function is apoptosis. What is the term apoptosis means? Apoptosis means programmed cell death. So we have seen the role of oncoproteins in the human body. Then what is the role of proto-oncosin? Proto-oncosin is not at all a malignant one. Means that is not at all a harmful one. When it is converted into oncosin, then it is harmful to our body. The proto-oncosin plays a very prominent role in human body. It have several roles, such as it acts as a growth factor, and it also has receptors of growth factor hormones. It has growth hormone receptors. It also acts as transcription factor. So this proto-oncosin is very useful one in the human body. Whenever there is any wound on our human body, so the wounded area needs to be healed. This proto-oncosin helps in the repairing of the wound by cell division, by repeated cell divisions. So this is not a malignant one. So malignant means this is not a harmful to our human body. The thing which is harmful to our human body is only the oncosin. This oncosin this oncosin produces the oncoproteins. This helps in the proliferation of cell division, and this leads to tumor formation. Tumor means uncontrollable cell. Tumor means undifferentiated and uncontrollable huge mass of cells. This tumor later leads to malignant one. The term malignant means harmful or dangerous. Later this malignant tumor ultimately leads to cancer. So this is the overall role of proto-oncosin and oncosin. Let us have a summary about this topic. Proto-oncosin is the precursor of oncosin. Oncosin is the one which is responsible for the disease of cancer. This oncosin synthesizes the oncoproteins through the process of translation. These oncoproteins plays two main roles. One is cell division and proliferation, and the other one is apoptosis, which is the programmed cell death. This cell division and proliferation leads to the formation of huge mass of cells, which is called as tumor. Tumor means huge mass of cells. This tumor later leads to the malignant tumor and later leads to the cancer. And the role of proto-oncosin, it is not at all a malignant one, means it is not at all harmful to our human body. These have several other functions, like it acts as a growth factor, it has growth hormone receptors, and it also has transcription factor. So this is the overall summary of proto-oncosin and oncosin. Now let us discuss about tumor suppressor genes. In the name itself, it is clear that tumor suppressor genes means it is suppressing the genes which are causing the tumor. The examples for tumor suppressor genes are P53, PRP and P10. Among these three, these two plays the prominent role. PRP. RP means retinoblastoma. PRP acts as the it helps for the cell division. It is present in the body from G1 to S phase. And the next most important one is P53. There is a huge concept about P53. P53 is a very useful tumor suppressor gene that has to be present in a human body. P53 acts as the cellular guardian of cell cycle. Means it guards the processes and the synthesis and the metabolic activities that has to be taken place in the cell cycle. It acts as a guardian. It is a very useful one in the human body. It is present from G1 to S phase. This is also present in G1 to S phase, but it is present in an inactive form. It will be activated when there is any DNA damage or due to mutations. When there is such condition, then this P53 will be activated. How this P53 will be activated during that condition? There are some enzymes such as or proteins such as kinase proteins. These proteins send signals to P53, then it leads to the release of P53. And then it becomes active and performs two main functions. First, it is in inactive form, and later due to kinase proteins it becomes active and performs two functions. One is it repairs the damaged DNA. And the second one is apoptosis. Let us have a clear look about these two topics. First one is repairs. It repairs the damaged DNA. How it repairs the damaged DNA? For example, if there is any DNA damage due to mutations or something else, or such as viral infections, let us have an example that this is the nucleotide base sequence. These are the bases which are present in the DNA strands. These are the two strands of DNA. If there is any damage in one strand, you can clearly see that if there is any breakage in one strand, it results in the slicing of the strand. Then this P53 reaches here and repairs this DNA damage. This is the activity of P53 during DNA damage. It repairs the damaged DNA so that it is opposing the formation of tumors due to mutations. And the next one is apoptosis. The term apoptosis means programmed cell death, as we have already discussed it. Programmed cell death means at this phase it has to be grow. It should be grow. It should grow, and at this phase it should die. That is programmed. All the cell cycle, all the cycle of the cell should be programmed in such a way. If that cycle or if that program is disturbed, it will finally result in the formation of tumors or some other unbalances it will create. So to avoid this, it will work at that condition. That is called as apoptosis, means cell death. It directly kills the tumor cells. So this is the very better one, prominent role it has. It directly kills the tumor cells. Thereby it is suppressing the growth of oncogenes, and then the tumor forming genes will no more works, and the tumor will dies. So this is the role of tumor suppressor genes. Again we will have summary. Just see tumor suppressor genes. tumor suppressor genes means the genes which are suppressing the growth of tumor formation cells. So there are three important tumor suppressor genes. One is P53 and the another one is PRP and the other one is P10. We have not discussed about this P10 because it is very negligible one. The main roles have been taken by these two only. One is P53 and the other one is PRP. PRP is the retinoblastoma gene. It is present in a cell from G1 to S phase, and the P53 is the cellular guardian of cell cycle. It is present in an inactive form at first in each and every cell. Later it becomes activated when there is any DNA damage or when there are any mutations. Then they will be activated and it repairs the damaged DNA. It performs two functions. We have seen that already. One is it repairs the damaged DNA and the other one is directly killing the cells by the process called apoptosis. In this way, these tumor suppressor genes have been suppressing the growth of tumor forming cells, thereby decreasing the chance of getting the cancer. So these are the two important topics that have been discussed now in this video. Thank you so much. Please like and subscribe to this channel. Thank you.